Hi, everybody. How are you today? This is our second live of the day. This is the afternoon stream, the early afternoon stream. The question I think we have to ask ourselves now is, are we at war again? Has this war started again? And it sure looks like it. Let's just get right to it. If you just look at some of the reporting right now from Al Jazeera, just right this minute, if breaking UAE, hang on, let me just backtrack to that again. UAE says it intercepted Iran missiles. A drone sparks fire at an oil facility. There is currently a Korean oil tanker on fire in the Strait of Hormuz. Iranian, after the U.S. military central command initially denied it, the military then went on to confirm that the Iranians did certainly take some shots at a U.S. naval ship. There's speculation, there's disagreement about whether or not that ship was hit or not. There was reporting, CNN reported a little bit earlier that Israel is planning to attack Iran within the next 24 hours. Israel has been actively, in my opinion, waiting to do this, for 2 weeks now. The village idiot, I think he came up with a fresh nonsensical threat. Trump vows that Iran will be blown off the face of the earth if it intervenes in Hormuz. So it seems like we are on the brink of war again, or we are at war again. What's going to be interesting to see, and we'll look at the actual reporting in a second, but what's going to be interesting to see in terms of us being at war right now, it will be interesting to see how the village idiot Donald Trump reacts, because he cannot, with a 33% to 37% approval rating, with less than a quarter of all Americans, significantly less than a quarter of all Americans supporting this war, this imbecile, as dumb as he is and clueless as he is, he cannot actively go back and engage in the war. It's not going to work for him right now. So what does he do now? Does he just say, we won, it was fantastic, we're going to let them all work it out. We're the winners, and we're the great winners, and we're going to get out of here now. We're going to go out. Or does he engage? The Iranians are ready to go to war. It's quite clear. The Iranians are ready to martyr themselves. It's quite clear. The Iranians have all the leverage. It's quite clear. And now they seem to be pushing the envelope with the village idiot's threat yesterday that there's going to be Operation Freedom, which is clearly, obviously, a poorly planned out, if planned out at all, bit of dumb fuckery where the village idiot gave the impression that the U.S. Navy was going to be escorting ships through the Strait of Hormuz. The Iranians called him out on that, called it out as bullshit. The Wall Street Journal subsequently called it out. Time magazine subsequently called it out and said it wasn't going to be escorting at all. The idiot used the word guide, and it meant nothing. It just meant that the boats were going to be doing exactly what they would be doing, but there would be repercussions if the Iranians hit a boat, which they did anyway. So, because and we don't know yet, but my assumption is this Korean ship that's on fire believed the village idiot and went through the Strait of Hormuz. But again, that's just my guess on that. That is not, I haven't read any interviews, any news reports about that or anything else. All right, if you can just give me a moment here, my friends, before we get into it, I just want to bring up the chat here, and that'll just take a moment or two, just so we can see who's joining us. All right, so I have the chat up. If you're just joining us, by the way, as well, on Substack or on YouTube, this is a new format that I'm trying out that I haven't done yet. Instead of doing one big live a day, I'm going to be doing multiple lives throughout the day. These will be news-driven lives predominantly with a lot of opinion. It's not going to be really like what you're seeing with the Midas Touch News Network, where it's going to be just straight up analysis with less opinion. This is going to be a few stories throughout the day that are kind of hitting me, that I'm finding out about, that I want to talk about. And these are really just for these two platforms. I'm going to add one more live, a multi-stream live later on in the day that will be focused. And I know you may be watching this recorded or live, which is perfectly fine. But my goal is to have a multi-stream live on all horizontal and vertical socials once a day. That's going to be sort of everywhere. But this isn't that. So I just wanted to give everybody an idea of what's going on with my new strategy. We'll see how it works. So let's just quickly look through these headlines from Al Jazeera. And you have to ask the question, or I have to ask the question when I see these headlines, is the war on? Have the Iranians just started it up again, like they said they would if Trump doesn't get the Navy out of the Strait of Hormuz? So this first headline, the UAE says intercepted missiles coming from Iran. Drone sparked a fire at an oil facility. Let's just kind of go through them now one at a time. Watch. Captain warns no ship will be a hero by risking Hormuz transit. I mean, I don't know if I would normally play this clip for you, but I also, as I've told you guys a couple of times, and I apologize for this, I'm still kind of working out the kinks of this new this new software that I'm using, this new streaming platform. So I don't know. You know what? No time better than the present to find out. Let's see if the sound comes through. I have no idea if it will or not, but might as well test it and see. I've kind of tweaked it so it should come out, but I don't know if it's going to work. So let's just try.
My ship is stranded here in Persian Gulf ever since the war started. So far we are safe, and yes, we have witnessed various.
I don't think you guys are hearing that sound because I can actually see in my. Let me know in the chat if you were hearing it, but looking at my streaming platform, I do not think it was. Oh, actually, maybe it was. Hang on a second, guys. Somebody let me know in the stream if you heard that or not. Huh. Let's try that again.
Various missiles or explosions, and we heard so many attacks on merchant ships. Thankfully, our ship is keeping safe. We have a clear written instruction from our company office: do not pass the Strait of Hormuz. My company would never take this decision at the moment until unless everyone assess the situation. They know that it is clearly safe to transit the Strait of Hormuz. At the moment, there is no concrete information regarding the safe passage through Strait of Hormuz. None of the ships will try to become hero, and they will show their courage to pass through Strait of Hormuz until unless it is declared officially that it is safe to transit. So yes, it is going to take time. So nobody would dare at the moment pass through Strait of.
Okay, I hope you guys heard it. I haven't seen any response in the chat, but that could also be that I don't have the chat working properly. So my apologies if you guys aren't able to get through on the chat. But I think I may have that working a little bit better. It's a work in progress, my friends. So anyway, obviously that ship did not try to transit the Strait of Hormuz, but we are aware of the Korean ship earlier today that there's plenty of reporting that ship is on fire. The U.S. should leave the Gulf region and let the GCC states deal with Iran. That's an ex-U.S. general. General Mark Kimmett said that. That's my first reading of that reporting. Jordan expresses absolute solidarity with UAE after the attacks on the UAE. Israel has been. We on the live earlier today. We reviewed the harsh reality that even though Iran had insisted, and it appeared that there had been an agreement and the village between Israel and the U.S. to not attack Lebanon anymore, to not the Israelis. The village idiot even put on Truth Social one day that he had ordered. He literally said he had ordered the Israelis not to hit Lebanon anymore during the ceasefire. Clearly, Benjamin Netanyahu has other plans. And remember, everybody is a useful idiot. Everybody, the village idiot Donald Trump is a useful idiot for everybody around him. Everybody's manipulating and managing him emotionally, psychologically, mentally. They're all managing and manipulating that fool for their benefit. So Netanyahu is almost certainly trying to bring that imbecile back into the war because he's not done yet. Netanyahu has a long-term strategic plan for Obama told us over the weekend that Netanyahu offered him the same deal to go in and start a war with Iran, and Obama said no way, absolutely not. So and there's plenty of reporting that Netanyahu's wanted to do this for 40 years. So Netanyahu is managing the imbecile, right? Netanyahu certainly wants to drag the U.S. back in the war, and he might succeed. The Iranians are managing the imbecile because their intent is to come out of this war in a better position than before they got out of it. And they certainly understand the politics here in the U.S. and how the idiot and drunken Pete Hegseth and the rest of the morons in this administration have their backs up against the wall right now, and how they're in an absolutely desperate state at the moment. So, you know, the Israelis certainly get it. The Iranians get it. The Russians get it. The Chinese get it. There's reporting that I saw earlier today in Al Jazeera. We might come across it in a moment, where the Chinese may be helping the Iranians, whether or not they're sending weapons over land routes or money or just geopolitical encouragement, who knows, or none of the above. But everybody who is involved in this war has one single focus, as far as I'm concerned, for whatever it's worth. And that focus is the village idiot Donald Trump. It is managing that imbecile, and it is using that imbecile. And inadvertently, and this is the most disgusting and shameful part for our military, is using our military because through using the idiot and manipulating the idiot, and then the idiot gives the orders to our commanders, to our generals, and those generals clearly, the top line generals, clearly don't have the courage to stand up to the village idiot Donald Trump, right? So they're giving those generals are getting the orders. And then our military has to engage in those ridiculous orders. So if we're realizing the fact that all of these nations and all of these world leaders are using the village idiot to benefit, they're managing him. That means they're inadvertently managing the generals, and they are inadvertently managing our military. And that is so incredibly unacceptable. It is so ridiculous. It's infuriating, to be honest with you. But this is just a quick news live. Let me just kind of get through this. Trump vows that Iran will be blown off the face of the earth if it intervenes in Hormuz. Trump told Fox News that Iran will be blown off the face of the earth if they attack U.S. vessels carrying out Project Freedom in the Strait of Hormuz. We're going to blow them up. It's going to be like nothing you ever... Obliterate. I created the word. It's my word. The word is obliterate. I called obliterate. I came up. It's a fantastic... My favorite word next to tariffs. Tariffs is the best word, but obliterate is a great... And we obliterated them. We obliterated them. We're going to obliterate them again. We're going to just keep obliterating them until they're completely obliterated, and they'll be obliterated. That's what we're doing. It's going to be an obliterate. And I won the 2020 election. Biden was sleeping. It's his fault. Israel reeling from unexpectedly high military casualties in Lebanon. I don't mean to put this... hey, Lacey. I don't mean to put this Lebanese, Israeli... it's very important to talk about, but these are quick sort of newsy, opinionated hits right now that I'm sharing. I only have till about 2:30 to wrap this up. So I've got to I just have to kind of wrap it and get rolling and see if I can somehow get it posted. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but that's another story because I've got to edit it and post it. Trump calls on South Korea to join the Hormuz operation. This is because a South Korean tanker was hit. The South Koreans aren't going to join the Hormuz operation. They know that They know that they're dealing with an idiot here. Trump accused Iran of having taken shots at unrelated nations in the Strait of Hormuz, including a South Korean cargo ship. Perhaps it is time for South Korea to come and join the mission, the idiot wrote on social media on his platform. He went on to claim that the U.S. had shot down several small Iranian boats after CENTCOM Chief Cooper said U.S. forces had sunk 6. Who the fuck knows? Who the fuck knows? Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. They're all, we've got a bunch of liars that, we'll find out in the hours or days to come if that's true. Other than the South Korean ship, there has been at this moment no damage going through the strait, the idiot added. I will be stunned if the South Koreans send military forces to join the imbecile. It would be ridiculous for them. Iran's first VP, managing Hormuz is a right. Iran's first vice president, Mohammad Reza Arif, says managing the Strait of Hormuz is the country's legitimate right. Iran refusing to submit to U.S. imposed new normal. Latest reports of Iranian missiles and drones fired towards the UAE suggested Iranian retaliation to the conditions the U.S. is trying to impose on the region, including its blockade of Iranian ports, says Sultan Bakat, professor at Hamad bin Khalifa University in Qatar. Quote, I think what's going on is that Iran is refusing to submit to the new normal that the U.S. is trying to impose in the region. Barakat told Al Jazeera, I think that they need to keep continuously maneuvering and shaking the situation a little bit so that this not set into place. And the difference is the Iranians, for all their bluster for decades, in this instance, because Trump is so pathetic, because Trump keeps threatening and doing nothing because he's such a fucking coward and it's all political and transactional for him, the Iranians are the normal people. They're the grown-ups in the room. Every time they tell him they're going to fucking do something, they do it. Every time it's such an embarrassment to the United States of America. Every time this idiot, there's the idiot, he had the Uno post where he said he had all the cards today. And, in this war, and if you have in the game Uno, if you have all the cards, you've lost. They didn't realize that. And, all these threats that he's made over every other day, there's a new threat to blow them all up, to destroy them. He's going to destroy the civilization. Remember that? He's going to blow up all the fucking bridges. If they don't do that, blah, blah, blah. If they don't agree to his deal, he's going to blow them up. Blow. He's going to blow them up. And he does nothing. And they make a threat. They said, you keep this shit up. This is your final fucking warning. We're going to start. We're going to start shit. And the idiot made another announcement that they didn't like, and they started shit. Are we going to be back at war? I don't know. I figure it's 50-50. On all honesty. I figure it's 50-50 no matter what the Iranians do, and I think they know it, and I think they're willing to take the chance. No matter what the Iranians do, there's an excellent chance the village idiot doesn't do anything. Excuse my poor use of the English language there. There's a chance he does nothing because he can't. Because the whole country, the whole United States of America is against this fucking war, with the exception of the MAGA cult members and the idiots in his administration. And the Iranians know this, and they're going to milk this motherfucker to get everything they can out of it. I don't think they're particularly enthusiastic about getting back into a firing war, a shooting war with the Israelis, but maybe they are. Who knows? Anyway, we've got a couple of things to cover in this in this quick newsy live. The mifepristone issue. Just in case you don't know what's going on, in Louisiana, a very conservative federal appeals court in Louisiana overturned a lower court's decision to allow mifepristone to continue to be distributed, the abortion pill to continue to be distributed nationally through telehealth. You can only get it supposedly by going in person to a provider. I don't have to, normally I'd go into all the background about that, but I just want to get the update out. Alito of all people, Justice Alito, conservative pseudo-white nationalist Justice Alito, put a temporary stay on the ban of all telehealth mifepristone. That's probably a surprise to you if you haven't seen the reporting on it yet. That Alito would do that. It's just this came up. He covers emergency request from this particular court It's his responsibility. He put a temporary stay. It's a 1-week stay on the ban till the Supreme Court decides what it's going to do with this. I figure, again, a 50-50 chance on this. Normally, you'd think the conservative court, Alito was just giving this lip service. You have the ultra-conservative court. They're certainly going to side with getting rid of mifepristone for telehealth, which would exclude women in any southern state or any state at all that has completely banned abortions. I think it's like 22 states or something like that to have access to this sometimes life-saving drug. I figure it's 50-50 because you got Clarence Thomas, because the people who brought this case, emergency case, it wasn't Planned Parenthood. It wasn't a women's rights advocacy organization. It was the pharmaceutical company that makes the drug. Obviously, they're going to lose money if they can't sell this drug to almost half the states in the country, or it can't. So they were the ones, and maybe that's why Alito put the stay on there, because I believe that so many of these, I know Clarence Thomas falls into this into this category, and I believe the rest of them because we have documented proof that he does. But I think many of these conservative justices are bought and paid for. We know that Clarence Thomas is because the billionaire, his last name is Crow. I can't think of his first name. We have documented proof now that he's always, been buying Clarence Thomas gifts and trips and shit like that. So I don't know if this pharmaceutical company is somehow a corporate overlord. This is where corruption might help women get health care. And so be it for right now. When they go low, we go just as low necessarily. So if the court, again, I don't know if Alito and Amy Coney Barrett and Justice Roberts and did I name all the conservative justices? Alito, Amy Coney Barrett, Justice Roberts, and Gorsuch. I don't know if they're on the take like Clarence Thomas is, but Republicans in general in politics are on the take like that. So why wouldn't they be? So these justices, if that's the case, they have to make a big decision in the next couple of days. Do they side with their corporate overlord who might be financing something for them or something, some organization or whatever that they're into? Or do they go with their evangelical and Roman Catholic, not all evangelicals and Roman Catholics, but overall the evangelical and Roman Catholic lobby that they ideologically lean to the most, where their community is, and ban the drug? I don't think this is going to be a judicial decision based on the rule of law, based on the constitutionality. I'm sorry I'm jaded, but that's just how I feel. I think this is going to be a decision strictly based on, where is their bread buttered more right now. And lastly, my friends, and this is not shit that you would expect to hear about from me, but the Met Gala is today, and my friends at Chorus have been pushing us to start getting into some cultural shit, because politics and culture go hand in hand, and right now, social engagement when it comes to politics is way down because people are tired and culture is way up. So if we can fuse politics into culture, that might help attract people to our platforms, get a little bit more interest in our platforms. So I don't know what the fuck. I don't care about the Met Gala. It's going to be on today. I might even live stream it, which would be entertaining since I don't really know anything about it, and I'm not a culture warrior I'm not a pop culture influencer, but I might know some of the celebrities there, and maybe we'll talk about their clothes and shit. I did learn about that earlier today at the Met Gala. For all the social messages that are woven into that thing, Jeff Bezos and his wife spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not, I don't know, millions of dollars to be able to host this fucking thing or something. So there's a political angle to that, and some organization that didn't like that, but went and got orange food coloring and put little and put little orange, yellow food coloring, and put like yellow water in these bottles that said like pee bottles or piss bottles or something, which is kind of disgusting, but sort of funny, and placed them, hid them all over the place in the Met next to these works of art as a protest for the Bezoses being involved in the Met Gala. So there's shit there too. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm trying to do whatever it takes to save democracy. And if that means I have to dip my toe into pop culture, so be it. All right, guys, I got a boogie. 1 minute at a time, 1 hour at a time, one live at a time. 1 minute at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 day at a time, one live at a time. I got to go pick up the kid now and get back here and somehow try to edit and push this, this quick update out. And the dog knows we're going somewhere as usual. I love you guys. I will see you at the next live, or make sure you watch me on my verticals as well. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Shorts, Facebook, and everywhere else where you watch stuff. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.